Good afternoon. Today we will continue to study about the conjunctive adverb if. Previously, we've studied the concept and the key point to identify the tense of each clause in the main clause and the suborder clause was very important. So, I'm sorry. Let's review the important points by studying each example. If I look up the origin of a meal, I will feel more grateful to Jesus Christ. In this sentence, we find that the suborder clause starting with the conjunctive adverb if is stated in the present tense, and the main clause is stated in the future tense. So this is about the assumption from the present for the future. The speaker and what's more, we apply the term assumption for an experience or condition or an action that wasn't actualized or that isn't actualized. So we understand that the speaker doesn't actualize the definition of the intransitive verb look right now at the present. That's the reason the speaker states the clause in the present tense, and the speaker reveals that the effect of the cause for the action, the suborder clause is stated in the main clause as a condition that is in the future that the speaker hasn't been to. So we can say that this sentence is stated correctly. The speaker links the suborder clause to the main clause with the conjunctive adverb if. From the fact that the intransitive verb look does not describe the point at the present, the definition of the intransitive verb look in the suborder clause wasn't actualized or isn't actualized. The fact that the speaker states the intransitive verb look according to the present tense in the suborder clause, which has not actualized yet, means that the speaker assumes the actualization of the action indicated by the intransitive verb look to be actualized in the future. The speaker indicates the result of the actualized action that is actually it is assumed. Assumed actualized action that intransitive verb look describes in the suborder clause with the phrase of the intransitive verb will feel in the main clause. The speaker certifies the action that the speaker assumes the actualization in the future to be actualized at the present, because the result of the condition indicated by the phrase of the intransitive verb will feel is stated on the firm guarantee that the cause indicated by the intransitive verb look is certain to be actualized. This explanation is about the reason why the speaker does not apply the future tense in the subordinate clause. The speaker could have an intent to describe an action in the future, that is an assumed action in the future that could be described by the intransitive verb look, but the speaker states this statement, the clause, in the present tense because the speaker certifies that the effect of an action in the subordinate clause can be stated in the main clause when the actualization is considered to be actualized at the present. The speaker alleviates the uncertainty. Like, this is the flow of time, and we are standing at the present, and there is an invisible elongated line that goes toward the future. The speaker might intend to state two of the future points, and the speaker changes the subordinate clause, the tense of the subordinate clause into the present, from this to this, because because we wanted to say that this is the result, the condition of the future condition of speaker in the main clause is the result after the assumption is actualized for real. So the speaker makes it certain by making it as the present tense. Yeah, there is a conference. This is studied in the previous class for studying the adverb, the conjunctive adverb when. Let's review this conference together. This one is about stating a definite, a certain experience, condition, or action for the future is stated in the present tense, because it is too obvious to use the modal verb will. The modal verb will is one of the definitions that the word will is about a determination. But there are so many events that events that are not needed to be stated as with the uncertainty, like this. The earth revolves around the sun. And let's read the title of the conference together. The experience, condition, or action that is certain to be actualized in the future is stated in the present tense. This could be the reason why this subordinate clause is stated in the present tense, because the speaker can discuss about the result of the action in the subordinate clause in the main clause after it is certain to be actualized. So what is the difference between what was the difference between the prerequisite and the assumption? The prerequisite is about the actualization of the verb in the subordinate clause. The speaker only applies the the conjunctive adverb when in the subordinate clause that deals with on actualized action, experience, condition, or action. In this sentence, this is the assumption. The action described by the intransitive verb look is certain not to be actualized at the present. That's the reason why the speaker applies the conjunctive adverb if. And this is the discussion about whether it is a prerequisite or an assumption. After we leave apart this discussion, we will start to think about the relationship between the sub-audio clause and the main clause. The main logic for linking the sub-audio clause to the main clause by if is that this is the cause and this is the effect of the cause. And the effect can be found, the effect can be identified, discerned, after the cause is actualized for real. So from then, the speaker does not apply the modal verb will for the sub-audio clause because the uncertainty hinders dealing with the effect in the main clause. So the result of in short, as we briefly say this, we can say that the definition of the intransitive verb look is certain not to be actualized at the present. But it is assumed to be actualized to state the main clause. The first discussion is about whether it is a prerequisite or an assumption. The next one is about stating the sentence in the assumption with the main clause to deal with the consequence. Yes. Okay, let's read the conference, the content of the conference together. The speaker who conveys the intention that the speaker assures the Earth to orbit around the sun in the future as well as the present states the action indicated by the intransitive verb revolve in the present tense. The definition of the verb to describe a subject who has the will to actualize the definition of the verb in the future is described by the modal verb will that also has a trait as a noun. This is the uncertainty that can be doubted by one of the definitions of the word will. The speaker who identifies the action indicated by the intransitive verb revolves as a principle of the one reveals the firm faith in the actualization of the definition indicated by the intransitive verb revolves. Tomorrow, the earth revolves around the sun because the speaker has the faith that the one, our Lord, may allow another day as a daily bread. That's based on the faith. So the speaker does not apply the modal verb will to state the will of the subject. Okay, the second example that the conjunctive adverb if is applied in is this. If I paint a picture, this means that I grasp a pen. Paint a picture and grasping a pen are like concurrency. But the point is that the speaker does not paint a picture right now. That's the reason the speaker identifies the sub-audio clause as an assumption. If the speaker really grasps a pen and draws a picture right now, then the speaker might apply the conjunctive adverb when. And this is more than just, this is simple. This conveys the simple logic than cause and an effect. This is close to the concurrency. That is the core logic delivered by the conjunctive adverb when, but the speaker clarifies that the speaker does not actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb paint right now. So these are two action and condition assumed at the present. Let's read the explanation. The speaker states the transitive verb means of the main clause stated in the present tense. To specify a condition included in the procedure that the speaker as the subject actualizes the action indicated by the definition of the transitive verb paint at the present in the subordinate clause. There is a conference, the modal verb would, when we want to deal with, when you want to state a sentence about an experience, a condition, or an action of a point in time that we haven't been to. In the two-way street, the speaker applies the modal verb would. Let's read the explanation. The speaker applies the modal verb would to describe the experience, condition, or action in the past, which caused the different experience, condition, or action with the present experience, condition, or action. There's a conference. I would buy 5 pieces of bread. This conference is to understand the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth examples much easily. Much more easier. I'm sorry. There's a conference. I would buy 5 pieces of bread. The point is that the truth is that the speaker as the subject didn't buy 5 pieces of bread. So we can say that this is an assumption. The speaker specifies the definition of the transitive verb by to apply the modal verb would that reveals the point in the past when the definition of the transitive verb by was started to be assumed. And there's the third example. If I believed that Jesus Christ visits us in the counterpart, I would be more gentle with the counterpart. In the sentence, we find that the subordinate clause is stated in the past tense. It's about the two-way street. It's about the middle part of the two-way street. And this can be a signal on the road that takes us to the unexperienced road of time, like this part. And this part could be identified into the main clause. And by the basic premise, we admit that the speaker in the past didn't actualize the definition of the transitive verb believe. So the speaker applies that the speaker applies the conjunctive adverb if, because the speaker decides that this is an assumption. and the speaker clarifies the outcome, the effect of a cause in the main clause by applying the phrase of the beaver would be. So briefly, we can say that the speaker states the condition, the assumed condition of the speaker in the past is the cause of the assumed condition in the point in time later than the assumed point in time. We just understand that the cause and the effect may take some time. The speaker describes, let's read the explanation. The speaker describes the condition that the speaker as the subject did not actualize in the past with a transitive verb believed in the subordinate clause. The point in the past when the definition of the beaver was started to be considered indicates the same point in the past when the definition of the transitive verb believed was considered to be actualized. The be verb be, described by the modal verb would in the main clause, describes the condition that is assumed to be actualized as the effect of the point in the past when the definition of the transitive verb believed was considered to be actualized. There is another conference about the modal verb could. The modal verb could describes the definition of the verb to reveal the assumption that the definition of the verb was able to actualize in the past. It is about an ability, the assumed ability. The speaker reveals the point in the past when the speaker started to assume the possibility of the definition of the verb described by the modal verb could to be actualized. Okay, we've studied 33 slides today, and that's the allocated amount of each class. Thank you for watching. In the next class, we will study about the fourth example. Thank you for watching.